Evening freaks, I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are going to continue forward in that Venus sign love read. And this time we're going to be reading for Aries Venus placements, or those who have their Venus located in Aries house, the first house in their chart. All right, we're just getting a general view of your love life, what influences are in play, and who's coming towards you, all that good stuff. What's going on in the romance department for Aries Venus placements or Venus placements in the first house. This is a timeless reading, so the message finds you when you're ready to receive it. Okay, right off the bat, we have a wish as the crossing influence coming up here. So we know that there's some wish that looks like didn't come to fruition with this Tower card, okay? I'm going to get a little bit more information out here on the board before we build this story, but it does look like something that was hoped for ended up being a bit of a disillusioning experience. Maybe you thought it would bring happiness, maybe you thought it would bring emotional gratification, but it turned out quite the opposite. We do have this Five of Cups in reverse, okay? So we had the Nine of Cups come up as a crossing influence. We know that a wish that's close to your heart in the love department is kind of front and center. And we do see the Tower coming in here. So, you know, what I'm really picking up with this Five of Cups in reverse is that there's a little too much fixation, too much wallowing in what didn't turn out the way you thought it would. You know, you're like spending too much time looking back at what didn't go in your favor, that relationship that, you know, you might perceive as a failure, but none of our relationships are failures. Even when we have a difficult experience in love, it's still there to teach us something. You know, there's some kind of lesson that comes through this, and we see this. I'm going to turn it right side up so you can see it, but we see this depicted in the Five of Cups. You know, there's all this reflection on what was supposed to cause celebration but ended up just being spilt milk, and a lot of regret, you know, looking back at this, feeling the sense of disappointment. And here we have this little figure offering up this pearl, kind of as a reminder that, hey, you know, there's a pearl of wisdom to glean from this, and this is medicine for you to carry forward in the love department. It's taught you something, you know, and I think what it really taught you, what I'm getting is not to be so quick to rush into things that maybe seem really enticing superficially. 3:33 on the clock when I said that. So I feel like it's more about really giving connections and opportunity to grow and for people to really show you who they are. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but I feel like maybe this is something that you rushed into. Maybe you were just caught up in the feeling. You might have been looking for a little bit of sexual gratification. You know, maybe this person really enticed you. Maybe they really turned you on. Maybe they sold you a real good story. I think that you were really looking at the gratification piece, and there might be this need to maybe get to know somebody a little bit better. Let somebody show you through their actions if, you know, they are what they say they're about, you know. But we do see that some kind of wisdom came through that you can use moving forward as you open yourself up to other relationships. And we see here coming in this Five of Cups, there's this Two of Cups that wants to come in. It's coming in with bats, which is rebirth energy. So we know that where there's been disappointment, something else will come in to take its place. And when this new opportunity comes in, it's about be mindful of what you learned from what you went through before. And I'm going to turn this right side up, but I want you to see here, I did pick up the deck upside down, and that has significance, okay? But we do see here with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, the Knight of Wands in the reverse. This might have something to do with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You may have one of those signs strongly aspected in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or North Node. Or you could have been dealing with somebody who rushed in very impulsively like this, making a lot of promises, might have had a lot of, sweet pillow talk, really kind of building the fantasy of what was on offer. But we see that this was kind of like almost reckless behavior, too impulsive. The Knight of Wands is very much like a player energy, and in reverse, it's also a little bit of manipulation, okay? On the real, a little bit of manipulation. I don't feel like this person was not aware of what they were doing. I think this person told you what they thought you wanted to hear so they could get what they were after. That may sound harsh, but that's kind of the feel I got from this. And we see that, you're disappointed. You thought this was going to be this new beginning in love. It was something that represented wish fulfillment to you, but it didn't quite turn out like that, right? Top of the deck energy, Six of Cups. Two things coming in with this Six of Cups. I'm first of all getting that you may have thought that this was a soulmate, and it very well could have been a soulmate, but people often misunderstand the role of soulmates. Not every person that's a soulmate is meant to be like your person, that person that you can have an enduring love connection with. Sometimes a soulmate is a person who comes in and they bring a really harsh lesson, but it helps us grow, and it helps us grow in our capacity to get clearer about what we're really looking for in terms of a love connection, and also what we may need to transform in ourselves that's blocking us from receiving, that more kind of elevated love, right? We do really have this strong, soulmate energy coming through here with the Lovers. But again, with this Lovers card, look at this card. There's a lot of like this kind of fantasy, magic quality to this Lovers. And normally the Lovers in tarot has to do with a choice, and I think that you were presented with a choice. You might have been trying to make up your mind between one of two people, and I think this person that came in was kind of like this fresh breath of air. They were inspiring to you because there was that sort of getting caught up in the whirlwind of the first stages of attraction, when you got the endorphins rushing and you're turned on, and you're getting to know somebody, and it all feels so brand new. And maybe the other person is somebody you would have been involved with more on a long-term basis, and you're kind of looking for a little bit of that strange, that's what I got kind of coming in here. I think there was a lot of correspondence between you and this temptation that came in. It really has that sort of, temptress, Don Juan, kind of energy to it. And I think that there was a lot of messages, a lot of communication going back and forth, and I think you really went on a ride with this person, and it was fun, while it was fantasy. This might have been somebody that you were actually engaging with online, and that made this fantasy really easy to build and kind of get built up in your mind. Yeah, I'm picking up this, like, there's definitely, like, there's something that really, you felt it in your soul with this person, you connected with them on a soul level, you felt this deep connection, but there's some element here about it being an act with that Knight of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse, and there was the Tower that came in. Yeah, I see. You know, there was a lot of worry over this. There's been a lot of stress. There's been sleepless nights. You know, you've had anxiety about this situation. This may have to do something with a community aspect, like maybe you felt like you might be judged by a community for being involved with this person. Maybe there was something about this connection that was being kept secret, especially if there was a choice between one or two people. I just say that because this Hierophant card, you know, in this particular card, there's a community gathered here. And I think maybe you thought it might kind of rock the stability of your friend circle. And I think also with that card, maybe people have been talking too, you know, maybe it's kind of a close-knit community of people and people have been talking. And this might have fueled some of your anxiety. Yeah, we do see definitely there was a choice that had to be made here, you know, and I think where you're at right now is you're looking at this piece of what's it going to take to transform this pattern in my life, you know, where I kind of get caught up in the moment, I act impulsively, and I don't really engage my intuition. I have a feeling like there were times in this temptation, you know, 11:33 on the clock, where you felt this sort of like this sort of nudge, this inner nudge, like, I don't know. This sounds a little too good to be true. This doesn't feel quite right. But I do feel like you pressed ahead with that Knight of Wands in reverse, and I think you pressed ahead very rapidly. And you know, in the end, you found out that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be with this Eight of Cups. Okay, this is you. Turning your back, realizing that this is not, you know, this deep soulful connection like you thought it would be, all right? It just didn't measure up to that, because the Eight of Cups is all about making a choice to head towards something that's actually like the path with heart, you know, a love connection where it's more than just like we dig each other, you know, we got good chemistry, the sex is good. It's also about somebody you can really connect with on a soul level. And that's what you're looking for, you know? You're looking for that soul connection. I feel like you made the choice to kind of separate from everybody is what I'm feeling. This is what's coming through, that you made the choice to kind of separate from everybody, just be a free agent for a while. I think you're kind of needing to clear your head and, you know, feel out what your next move should be. You may be a water sign or have a water sign strongly aspected in your chart, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or you may have been dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But we do see that this is really about you wanting a connection where it's safe for you to really share your heart and know that you're putting your heart in hands that, you know, we'll treat it with tender loving care, you know, where it'll be safe. You know, with the Eight of Cups, by the time you get to the Eight of Cups, you've already invested a lot of time and energy in a connection. So it's hard to walk away. I think this is something that's been very difficult for you. You know, again, we see with this Seven of Pentacles, you thought there would be emotional growth here. And I feel like maybe this Queen of Cups energy, that was the problem. Like maybe you felt that they had some emotional growing up to do. Maybe you felt that they weren't really able to meet you in the same place of emotional vulnerability and openness to really connect on a deep level. We do see there's this like heartache here with the Three of Swords, okay? Definitely looking at a picture of a connection ending. But I really feel like you're kind of more standing in this solitary energy right now. But it was important for you to bring this to a closure with the world. Actually, bringing this closure brings success. There's success on the other side of this. And again, there's that pearl, okay? There's that pearl of wisdom. This is going to carry you forward. You don't have to continue to like repeat this pattern in your life.